How to deal with a broken heart man. Hello ladies and welcome to this new video. I bring with me Coach Andres. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. Always great to be back.
So this video is very important. I want to talk to you about the
Yes.
situation because I coach a woman, very good person, you know, good heart, good person. She has great energy and she met this guy that is not really over his past. So he got divorced a couple of months ago.
That's very soon.
That's very soon. So basically she told me, Alex, I love this guy. We hit it off. And in the beginning, he didn't show me that he was scared of being in a relationship. But after a couple of weeks of dating, now he's using this as an excuse or, you know, a reflection of his life. And she asked me, how can I deal with a guy that was broken out, like emotional broken situation? How can I deal with it? What are the solutions? So I wanted to bring Coach Andre so he can talk a little bit about it and I will give you my opinion. But what do you think of this situation?
It's a very unfortunate situation. I think we've all been there in some form. You know, if we broke someone's heart unintentionally or if our heart's been broken, it's something that it's a very tough thing to go through. And as well as something in that specific situation, a divorce and a couple of months in, I'm not questioning the connection or the attraction or the synergy between the two, but that's where you have to be a little more logical and not so emotional about that and say that time frame is still very, very fresh. And as much as he's maybe making up for that with great excitement and enthusiasm of getting to know her, having all this great new fun because he just got out of a bad relationship, we'll call it, that could be confusing. It could be misleading because it's very exciting. It's fun. It's sexy. It's charismatic. He's on his top game. You're someone new after such a long marriage. And that's something that's unfortunate because, like you said, his excuse, it is an excuse, but it's understandable because he didn't give himself enough time. And the best thing I would say is women, when you're in that situation, if you are the person out of a relationship or you're meeting someone who's just out of a relationship, especially a divorce, give that time. Do not try to jump and basically try to overcompensate for that last relationship. It's not going to work. It's not you. It's the situation. And that's just it's very challenging to go through.
I love what you mentioned because it's not you, ladies. So don't take full responsibility. Don't blame yourself because you have done nothing wrong. And if I listen to you, Andres, the first step is to accept the situation.
Yes, all the way.
To accept what's going on, to accept the situation, to not blame yourself, to not become too much negative.
Yeah.
And to rebound on what you just said, like basically take the time.
Yeah.
So the advice I gave her, and I want to give it to you ladies, was let's not focus on being in a relationship. Let's focus on getting to know each other. Yeah. Because if you focus on, okay, he's scared, he doesn't want to be with me, so I need to do everything to make him want to be with me, you will put subconsciously some pressure on him. Yeah. Instead, if you try to just make him smile, create new dates, challenge him a little bit so he can create new dates and be involved without knowing that he's involved in the relationship, you will create an amazing bond. And that's what you can create the relationship you want and not scare him away. Yeah. Because it's very difficult to not scare someone that was emotionally broken. Yeah. You know, like one mistake and you can lose this guy.
Well, I mean, not just being emotionally broken, you have to give yourself to have some closure, some clarity, and in some weird way, a celebration moment that you've basically got yourself out of an unhealthy relationship or there's something that wasn't very fulfilling about that. And those are a few stages that you really have to respect and give time to. So I always say this to my clients in this situation, rebounds aren't intentional. Rebounds aren't personal, so don't take it that way. That guy probably got excited because he was like, wow, someone new, someone paying me attention that haven't been paid attention in a long time, someone who compliments me, someone who's very considerate to my thoughts, you know, someone who my ex really wasn't. So he got caught up because you're such an amazing woman, which is great. And if that connection, that spark is so paramount, so strong, then what's the rush? Because then again, you're just trying to force something because you really want that relationship experience when you realize the timing might be a little off at the moment.
And the difficult part in this situation, Coach Andres, was because when the guy is emotionally broken out or when he needs time for himself to heal, he will distance himself. So after being in a relationship or the dating process where you were texting each other every single day, you were calling each other, you were having some dates, and now you have nothing. So it's a very difficult emotional situation for the women that will listen to this video. What can they do?
Well, men are very commonly known for that. When we are hurt, we isolate ourselves. We go in our cave. We don't want to show our vulnerability. So that's very common. So don't take it out on him. We commonly do that. I'm not saying it's right, but we do. I would say is try to keep the friendship as respectful and as encouraging as possible, and remove any pressure of expectations done other than the romantic relationship. Just remove that, because that's only going to give yourself realistic expectations and a good time frame, which might also keep you somewhat secured and safe to see if there's something more meaningful down the road with this. Because if it is a great 3-month moment, let that build up through a period of time and not just rush into something.
Mm-hmm. And so, ladies, what I want you to do right now is to realize that you should not ask any question. No. You should not try to get answers, because that will be pressure that you will put on his shoulders. We know that this is very difficult to understand, but sometimes it's great to be a little bit distant and then communication on this friendship. So the more you can talk about something good in your life, the more secure you will feel, the more happy you will be, and he will want to talk to you again and again. So you have to act, I love to say, counterintuitive actions, right? It's something that you should not, like you will not do it, or nobody told you before. But if you can do these counterintuitive actions, guys can open up again. So it is possible to be with a broken heart man. It is completely possible. It is just something that sometimes we don't understand. Sometimes we are scared to do also. Some other time we don't know how to react and control the emotions. So how to not be scared to lose him, definitely.
Well, to add on to that is more of just like, there's a point where he's still in transition mode, and that specific person in divorce saying now he's an ex-husband. Is he a single father? Are they going to co-parent together? How is that going to work? So there's a lot of new like transitions and adaptations that this whole situation that's bigger than you, with all due respect, that needs to be prioritized. So if it's someone who's not, a father, or maybe just a boyfriend who got broken up, you want to give that time in a sense where you're not forcing the intimacy, because a lot of people like to replace and repeat what they're dating. And sometimes a lot of people like to basically date the opposite of what they just gone through. So again, you just kind of keep things simple, keep things safe for yourself, because if there's something really there, why rush it?
Yeah, if you feel it. So how can they be more confident? How can they be more secure, emotionally secure in this case? That's a tricky
It's
question.
a tough one. It's how can they be more secure and confident is, again, having certain boundaries. And, again, holding yourself accountable to not get too involved. Don't try to fix this. Don't try to nurse this. Don't try to baby this. Because unfortunately, in his world, that ex is still going to come in his life in some form through memories, pictures, contact, friends, family, network. It's still, that moment's going to be opening in and out of his life, and that's going to bring like his emotions up and down, hot and cold, towards you unintentionally. And you're going to feel, what's up with all this inconsistency? Why is he gone this 1 week, but he's all over me next week? Well, I'm sure she stopped by last week to pick up her, what? And then he's like thrown off on that. So that's where it's like you have to really back off and give that space. But again, you don't have to be cold about it. Just be supportive. Say, hey, we've all been there. So I think you should just focus on that, get your life together, because ultimately you don't want to go from one relationship to another. So you almost want to encourage his independence. Basically project that confidence that we talked about and say, hey, go do what you need to do. You said you haven't been single for a while. You said you haven't been alone for a while. Go explore what you're about first, and we'll see what happens with us. And sometimes you have to fake it until you make it. I know it's hard.
I see that.
I know it's hard. I'm not trying to lie or anything, but sometimes you have to fake it until you make it, so you realize it's keeping that buffer zone between you and him, but also keeps the interest there, because there's also a lot of respect there.
Yeah, and I see when you get busy, women, it's just an amazing way to continue to attract him again. Because I have seen some situation where a guy will use some excuses because of the past divorce or whatever, because he's just taking you for granted also. Yeah. So to make yourself busy and to just follow the advice, that will empower you, because it's always get back to you, ladies, to make you confident enough that if you feel the connection, as you mentioned, there is no need to rush. Yeah. It's actually the opposite. The more you take your time, the more we can build something that will be exciting. Every time we try to rush, people are taking us for granted, and I don't want this for you. So it's not an easy situation. Sometimes it's very difficult to control emotions, but to give us all a good note, it's usually the way that you will be able to build a relationship with the guy you want. So even if he was emotionally broken, he knows that you're different. He knows that you will understand him. And he knows that if you get busy, there is this game of attraction that comes back also on the table. Yeah. So it is possible. That's something I want to say.
All the way, because again, you're not supposed to fix his heart or put his heart back together. On some form, he might take that for granted or resent that in some form. So again, you're looking out for him as a person, and let him go heal and figure that out for himself. Another big clue, I'd say, and a tip on this, ease up on the social media.
Why?
Well, it's because that might trigger certain things. You might get a little suspicious or jealous or questionable, or start to break up the situation you have with him because you're playing games with your mind.
So what about creating another fake account and try to follow this guy and try to talk to him?
You have no idea how many stories I've had clients tell me with this account or the location on the phone. Oh my goodness. I had one call, she was like, he's going south. I was like, did you say he's going south? What is going on? Again, no, don't, because while you're holding yourself accountable to create this space, this nice healthy buffer zone, don't ruin that and spoil that with your phone. Apply that level of discipline to even keep that buffer zone even more solid by keeping that phone of social media to the side. Don't really try to dig into that. It raises more questions.
So what is very important for you ladies is to understand that there is always a solution. I'm very optimistic because I've seen so many situations like this one. You can completely deal with this guy, create an amazing relationship, but it always starts also with yourself, right? So if you can have some discipline, be busy, focus on yourself, creating an amazing moments with him, this guy will always be after you. Yeah. And this is what I want in my philosophy. I want him to continue to chase you, to see you as a challenge, to see you valuable in his life. That's where we can just...
Exactly. Keep your attraction, keep your value, if not higher than when you met him before.
Love it.
Always.
Yes. So ladies, what we want you to do right now is to smash the like button. This is very important. Make sure that you leave a comment in the section below. Ask us any question. Tell us about your story. We will be there to answer your question. Now, if you want to go further, I will attach some links for the coaching page on the description right below. And there is also Coaching with Andres, his YouTube channel. You need to go there. You need to watch his videos. That will empower you because we are here for you. We cannot act for you, but there is a lot of tips that you can find on his YouTube channel and on the coaching page also.
Yeah. Well, I actually have two actual audio products that will kind of help you on the situation. It's how to love a man and how to make a man fall in love. And it's not, again, about games and manipulation to convince someone to love you, but it's about putting yourself in a situation like this client of yours and understanding the big picture of things and respecting the timing of love and the timing when you can actually meet someone the right way. And it's about setting yourself up. So you can say how to love a man. It's more about how to test your love for yourself, how to make a man fall in love, how to grow to fall in love with yourself, with the good and the bad. And don't get yourself in these situations because, again, I'm an optimist myself. It just makes things a little more difficult. So give yourself the best chance.
The last thing I want to tell you, it's a warning, ladies. So if this guy comes back after telling you that he was not ready, don't rush. Don't go into the relationship. You need to date again. You need to attract again. You need to take your time because it's a pattern that I see. He left, he comes back. He leaves, he comes back. He leaves, he comes back. Okay, we need to make sure that when he comes back, he sees a different woman. And that's why we are doing this video. Exactly. Thank you again.
Always a pleasure.
That was really nice to see you, Coach Andres. Ladies, you need to smash the like button, subscribe, and then you go with Coaching with Andres. I will not be mad at you. It's okay. And I will see you very soon.
Don't break his heart.
Yeah. I'm okay. Take care of yourself, ladies. Talk to you soon. Bye.